Hi, John Everett here, surgical marketing specialist with a very interesting and intriguing guest speaker today, Mr. James Finnegan of Inspiring Physicians. Now, James has personally owned and operated over 7 aesthetic centers throughout the United States, and he has personally trained and mentored, now get this, 600, that's right, 600 medical professionals over the last 10 years. Not only in how to build an incredibly successful practice, but how to market their services. And due to the internet nowadays, that can make or break a practice. So that's why we were very excited to have Mr. Finnegan with us today, because he's the only one that I've met in this industry that actually brings an entire turnkey package to the table for physicians. Very interesting and very high demand. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. James Finnegan, CEO of Inspiring Physicians. James, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much, John, for the introduction. I appreciate that. And yes, we've been very fortunate. I think one of the best indicators of the future is someone's past. And really, just to give a little background on kind of your brief introduction, having owned and operated 7 aesthetic centers has really given us a platform to help physicians to avoid the pitfalls and traps that commonly occur in establishing a cash-based procedure or revenue practice versus going with a managed care practice where many physicians are used to billing insurance companies for reimbursements. We've been able to help physicians understand there really is a different atmosphere and there really is a different goal when it comes down to how to take care of these patients and really become consultative in every approach. And we really have utilized the information gathered in our 7 centers to help create that turnkey solution on proven, tested, tried, and really experienced opportunities for success. So we've been very fortunate to help physicians to avoid those pitfalls and traps that commonly await them, that we've actually gone through on our own and in and of ourselves through experience in business as business people.
Well, that's good to know. Now, let me just ask you a couple of questions here. This will be a pretty informal interview, and we, once again, appreciate your time. And I know we can't see her, but I know she's there. Your assistant's probably just outside the view of the camera with a list of physicians and your daily itinerary. So I'm going to move along if that's okay. You ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, you've told us a little bit about Inspiring Physicians. What actually brought you to the point to create a turnkey company such as this?
You know, having owned and operated clinics and really trying to streamline the process through multiple centers, we actually had physicians attend our center and say, how do you know what you're doing? How do you understand how to maximize profits? What is it that you're doing? And how do you make these little decisions that we haven't been trained on? Many physicians are eloquent orators when it comes to answering questions for patients, but really understanding a cash-based model really is a little different in understanding how to market and really to pick which procedures are going to give them the best yield for their time. And so it was actually up to the physicians continually asking and just associates saying, can you help me, can you help me? Hence the name Inspiring Physicians came about through physicians feeling inspired through learning business skill sets. We have a lot of fun in training our physicians because they are amazing at what they do. This gives them another depth, another dimension to their portfolio of experience by learning how to successfully operate a practice. And so really this came about by operating centers and having physicians ask us to train them. And that's hence the name Inspiring Physicians came about, was because we really feel like we're taking physicians from good to great and giving them the tools that they need to be successful in ways that they've never had the educational materials presented and available to them.
Interesting, and we can tell by your incredible schedule that obviously your practice has been very successful. Now, let me ask you a question. You had given us a figure that you have personally trained and mentored over 600 medical professionals.
That's correct.
Is that an accurate figure? That's a
yeah.
That's a chunk of physicians, my friend.
Yeah, in fact, the number's probably higher than the 600 medical professionals, because what we do is we traditionally have physicians flying to Phoenix or Seattle or wherever we might do our training sessions for the individual physicians. When physicians either go into a concierge medicine or a cash-based model or any of the aesthetic procedures where they're trying to infuse cash into their practice, they need to understand what are the skill sets needed by virtue of answering phones, doing consultations, how to market to their existing patient base, how to market to new patients without spending an obscene amount of money. This program skill set really is set up to make them successful. And over time, physicians over the last 10 years have spoken to associates, manufacturers have approached us, different physician groups have said, can you do this training nationally, globally for us for our all-inclusive physicians? So the number is actually quite a bit higher than 600, but that's really kind of been our staple in the last over the last 10 years, and helping our physicians to grasp those key concepts. And the good news is it continues to be a big benefit to these physicians and giving them a jump start in this new economy.
Okay, very good. So James, would you categorize that maximizing your client's potential is the key to your success?
Absolutely. Most of our physicians have a phenomenal relationship with their existing patient base. They don't understand the dynamic value of that gold mine that's sitting right there. In a practice valuation, they know there's a value subset there. They're not quite sure what that means. But when it comes to implementing high cash revenue generating procedures, whether it's concierge, cash-based model, high-definition lipo, or an aesthetic procedure, it really will make all the difference for that individual physician in understanding how to transform the practice into really becoming a cash-generating revenue program and portfolio altogether.
Well, we both know that that's what the physicians are mainly interested in. Let's get into some of the actual products and services that you currently represent.
Okay, the first product really that was hand-selected out of Europe is called High Definition Lipo. This is an in-office based product. You know, there's probably 10 different products in the space. The benefit to this product is there's no burning, there's no laser, there's no ultrasound. This device vibrates the fat cells apart and allows them to gently be aspirated away. The reason this is such a great product is because it's a high revenue based procedure, meaning it's done under local anesthesia, so it's just lidocaine. The physician can do it in a standard 10 by 10 treatment room. The benefit is the patient's awake, alert. There's no incidence of fatalities associated with this procedure, and the results are very dynamic, hence the name High Definition Lipo. What this product does for our physicians is it allows them to tap into their existing patient base that they've nurtured the relationship with. And I want you to imagine, most people think that plastic surgeons have gone through residency training on liposuction, when it's actually the dermatologists that have gone through significant training on liposuction. This device, all of the physicians go through the same training that a dermatologist would go through. They're trained, it's minimally invasive, and the patients return to work within 24 to 48 hours. So it's exciting because this is the #1 most widely requested procedure for men and the #1 most widely requested procedures for women. So imagine if a physician has 5,000 active patient charts, those are patients they've seen in a year. This product fills that void that many other physicians are marketing to their existing patient base. And so this product's exciting. The average patient treatment fee, to give you an example, is about $5,500. So a physician can transform their practice literally with doing 3 or 4 treatments a month, and it makes a huge difference in their lifestyle and the way that they feel about helping patients improve their confidence. So, you know, High Definition Lipo has really been a great extension to once again expanding that portfolio of the physician, allowing them to get excited about doing minimally invasive procedures while transforming patients and really improving their confidence in themselves.
Understood. Okay, now obviously you know that this hangout is going to be watched by hundreds, if not thousands, of physicians across the country. If one of the physicians wanted to give you and your company a call, how would they go about getting a hold of you in order to possibly hire your services and implement some of these incredible strategies that you utilize?
You know, one of the biggest benefits, if a physician's interested in getting involved, when they get involved with purchasing a High Definition Lipo system, we actually include our full business development solution for that physician. And that's a full comprehensive training program like we talked about that goes into how to answer phones, how to do consultations, how to target existing patients through
Excuse me, sorry, James, I don't mean to interrupt. You teach them how to answer the phones?
Absolutely.
Very interesting. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt. Excuse me.
No,
Go ahead.
absolutely. There really is an important aspect to running a practice that can help physicians to obtain a capture rate of over 75% on the phones, which is really important in their regular practice as well as a cash-based practice. But a physician would basically call our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-928-7497, and they would press the sales button, and one of our sales representatives would answer their questions and go through the systematic approach of how to implement this product. This product is a solid state system, so they can autoclave it. They don't have to buy a high level of consumables like with other systems. There is no high level disposable associated with this device. So it saves physicians a lot of money, but the business development training component, the surgical training component, is what makes it a turnkey solution. We want to make sure our physicians are successful. And quite honestly, that's why there are no use systems on the market, because our physicians 100% of the time have been successful. And a lot of physicians have asked me why that is, and it really does dovetail into a dual approach. Clinical training and business training equals a physician's success. And our goal is if they're successful, we'll be successful as well in helping our patients to achieve and exceed their results and their desired goals. So the nice thing is it's making that initial contact, going through what the product and solution is for that physician, and if they really have a need in this space, then we're there to help them to move forward in that right direction.
Very good. Now, I have to tell you, James, and I'm not saying this to be nice, I interview literally over a period of 90 days a couple of hundred people in this line of work, and yours is the only company that I've seen that brings a turnkey solution to the table for these physicians. So I want to thank you for your time today, and we do have your 800 number at the top of the title of this video, but give us your 800 number one more time for these physicians that want to get a hold of you right now. Could you do that, please?
Absolutely, yes. It's 1-800-928-7497. And just hit the extension for the sales team, and they'd be happy to help answer any questions. And also any questions that you'd like to direct to me personally, my extension is 711.
Okay, and your website is inspiringphysicians.com, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, well, very good. James, like I said, we appreciate your time. I'm glad your assistant didn't tap me on the shoulder to tell us to hurry up, because we know you're very much in demand, my friend. And once again, I want to thank you for your time. And any of you physicians out there that want to blow your practice up, this is the man that can make that happen. James, thank you for your time today, my friend.
Thank you. All the best. Take care.
Thank you.